everybody, Jeppy here, and today I'm sharing with you all which Valorant agents hate their Omega double the most. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, here's a quick little summary of the lore. The attackers in Omega Earth, well besides Pearl, are from an alternate universe with an Earth named Omega Earth. They also have a Valorant protocol, but they actually go by the Valorant Legion on Omega. They invade our Earth, which is labeled Alpha Earth, and steal our Radiant and take it back to their Earth to use, by doing so with the spike. Some of the agents hate their Omega doubles, while other agents are actually like semi-friends and work together. I'm going to list all the agents into 4 categories. Category 1, actually friends. Next is tolerates. After that, it's going to be agents that dislike each other. And then at the very end are agents that have pure hatred for their Omega doubles. So let's start us off at the agents that seem to don't mind their Omega doubles at all, or actually get along with them and work together. All right, everyone. So the first agent on the actually friends tier is going to be, well, surprisingly, Raze. Out of all the agents on the VP, it seems like Raze would get along and become great friends with Omega double the most. She seems ecstatic that there's another Raze and says that she'd bet she'd be fun, well, before snapping back into reality to say she'd still kill her because she kind of has to with the war between the worlds going on. But I think she's just saying that because she has to.
Another Raze? Ha! I bet she's fun. I mean, I'll still kill her, obviously.
She also compliments the other Raze's inventions, and then even when she does kill her as the finally kill in gameplay, she tells her to sleep well, my little love.
Sleep well, meu amorzinho.
So all in all, I think that without a doubt, Raze would be good friends with her Omega double. Next in this category is, of course, Chamber. Now, I put him here because of the long history they have of working together on completing missions. Whether it was saving Alpha Earth's Brimstone and Viper, which earned him a spot on the Valorant Protocol, or working together to destroy the Large Radiant Collider on Fracture, they have at least been on a handful of missions together, although they don't really seem to trust each other very much.
You knew not to trust me. Oh, our deal? It's over. Sorry for the late notice.
They do share a respect for one another and compliment each other as well.
Who is that well-dressed man on the other side? Ah, the other me. Of course. Do not let my double shoot you. You will die.
I guarantee that if they weren't supposed to be enemies, they would definitely be a dynamic duo partner in Crime's team instead. Another agent in the actually friends category is Sova. Now, it's mostly because Sova does not want any conflict at all with his Omega double, like pretty much at all. He respects him and on one occasion even let his double live.
Sova, I spared you when we first met. I can't let you go again.
He's more so saying that to warn him that the next time they meet, our Sova must kill him. But another thing that makes me wonder if they would actually be friends is at the start of every round when the barrier drops, Sova warns his Omega double to run away, as if he is yet again doing what he can to at least give the other Sova a chance to leave this conflict.
Biggie, Sova.
It definitely gives me the vibe that he wants his double to stay alive. So I think those reasons and how whenever he kills his double in gameplay, he says things like a fine death and it was you or me, shows he respects him as well. Good enough for me to put him in this category. The last agent in the actually friends category is going to be Breach. Now this one with Breach is on the very cusp of being friends or the tolerates category. I decided to put him here for a few reasons. One, none of the voice lines for Breach seems to show any dislike or ill will towards his double, and 2, it actually seems like Breach respects his double as a threat and even gives him a compliment.
A second Breach, huh? This might be a fair fight after all.
Also, this statement is just speculation, but I feel like Breach isn't the most involved in the threat of Omega Earth and is mostly just here because his criminal record would get wiped if he joined. I'm sure if it really came down to it and he was given the chance, he'd probably like to just sit down with his double, have a couple of drinks, and listen to the struggles or cool heists the other one has done in his life. Now that's it for the friends category. Let's move on to the tolerates one, and there are actually quite a few agents in this tier, so I'll try to go through them a little quicker. Surprisingly, the first agent here is going to be Brimstone. I also teetered on the idea of grouping him up in the friends tier because, to be honest, guys, it doesn't really look like he has any ill will specifically to his double. If anything, he respects him and jokes around that he's the same as himself.
That Brimstone's a stubborn ass. Reminds me of someone.
He also respects his double, and if he does kill him as the final kill, he says he's going to pour a drink out for him as a sign of respect.
Pour one out.
So yeah, guys, as you can see, he definitely could be in the friends category if given the chance, but I ended up putting him here in the tolerates one because after all, he is the leader of the enemies. Next is Astra. Now, Astra only has 2 voice lines to go off here.
Hey, other Astra, if you know what I know, then what are you doing? Yawa, come on, clear Fuck ya, Mirror.
Yep, that's it. And the vibe I'm getting, guys, is that Astra is basically just calling her double a fool, saying, what are you doing here? Get back to what really matters, guarding the cosmos. I don't think she really like dislikes or hates her double really at all, just more so trying to get her to remember that she's an astral guardian and has to get back to work. Basically saying, don't wrap yourself up in this conflict, go back to doing what matters. Up next is Killjoy, and the main thing with her is that KJ seems to just enjoy having her double on the other team to test her own intelligence and gadget manufacturing. She does compliment her, saying finally it's a challenge when going against her, but I think it's more so just like a compliment to herself and her own intelligence.
I know that Killjoy's tricks. Wait, she knows mine. Finally, a challenge.
And when she kills her, KJ just like rubs it in, saying that she was the smarter one.
Looks like I was the smarter one.
So yeah, I think she doesn't really hold any real anger to her, like at all. She just likes to be the better Killjoy. And by the way, guys, if you didn't know, I'm ranking these agents where the next agent is slightly less friends or holds a little more anger or dislike than the next. Basically, it's just like scaling up. So with Sage, it's mostly that she doesn't want to kill her double or have a conflict with her. It's that she has to. She tries to not think about the fact that her double is an enemy.
I know I am over there, but my mind rejects the thought. Does she feel the same?
So it's like she doesn't even want to think of her as the enemy and would rather just do what has to be done without putting an emotional thought to it. Also, her voice line when getting the last kill on her confirms that she doesn't really want to kill her.
I had to kill you.
Next is Sky, and I think we can definitely put Sky smack dab in the middle of the tolerate category. She jokes around saying that it's gonna be a zoo with all the animals running around if another Sky is in battle, but also says that there can only be one of them and doesn't mind taking her out to be, well, the only Sky standing.
2 of us? This place is gonna be a zoo. There can only be one Aussie around here.
Yep, guys, not much to say about Sky. Doesn't dislike her, just tolerates. Next is Fade. Now, initially, before I looked up stuff for this video, I thought that Fade would have like definitely hated her double, but in fact, I was wrong. She more so just like tells her double to like the dream seeing and nightmare shenanigans to herself and doesn't really want to share it. She also shares a moment of respect and grief when killing her double by putting her to rest and saying she's seen too much.
Leave the dream seer to me. Sleep, my sister. You've seen too much.
So yeah, like no dislike or hatred here, but I don't think they'd exactly be friends if there wasn't a conflict happening. Up next is the Wind Girl Jet. Now we're starting to get a little closer to the dislike category, but like still well within tolerates, just getting a little closer. So you'll start to see a few hints of like anger or distaste for their doubles for the next few agents from here on out. With Jet, it starts with her being ultra competitive and disrespects her double as nowhere near as good as herself.
I know your tricks, Wind Girl. You're not faster than me. Their Jet has nothing on me. I got her.
Definitely sounds like she'd have no problem killing her, right? So initially I was going to put her in the dislike category for this, but then I found this voice line.
No way, we're the same.
Now, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, she says this when getting the last kill on her and sounds really, I don't know, like happy and surprised here. So once I heard this, I was like, well, maybe she doesn't like dislike her as much as I originally thought. So I left her here in the tolerates category. Next up is Neon. And now with like most of Neon's personality and voice lines, she doesn't really care about her double too. Basically, she just like shrugs her off and says she doesn't stand a chance against herself and has no problem taking her out. I don't think she cares enough currently to quote unquote dislike or hate her. It's more so that she's just an object standing in her way.
My double thinks she can take me? Bad call. Just my double. No problem.
The last agent in this long category of the tolerating tier is going to be Cypher. Now with Cypher, half of it is like him being confused and curious on where they come from or who the other Cypher is, while the other half is him being aggressive and having no problem taking him out.
I honestly don't know who the Cypher on their side is. A real mystery. Who are you? Copy of me? Where did you come from? I will crush your eyes, Amir.
So yeah, I was on the fence of putting him in the dislike category next, but I left him here because I think the mystery of wanting to know who he is and where he came from outweighs his want to harm him. What do you guys think? All right, so we finally made it to the dislikes category. Only one more. After this one is the pure hatred. But first, let's talk about Yoru. So you'll notice with that Yoru's voice lines, there's not as hateful or aggressive as Cypher's. So you may be wondering, Why I put him here in this category and not Cypher? Well, it's all in Yoru's personality. As I'm sure most of you guys know, Yoru doesn't really care about very many people at all, and I'm sure most of the people Yoru meets, he starts off disliking them before warming up to them. So when Yoru says this,
"That's me over there. Great. Now I can kick my own ass."
it really does sound like he would have no problem kicking his own ass and enjoying it as he does so. His other voice lines give off the same vibe that he just wants to fight his double.
Last Yoru standing wins.
So I think it's pretty safe to say Yoru doesn't really like his double much at all, as with most people. Another agent that surprisingly doesn't like their double is KO. Now, I was a little taken back when I saw these voice lines because I would have assumed that they would want to work together and be on the same side, guarding humanity from Radiance. But in fact, KO just wants his double dead so he can rip the body apart and use it for spare parts. What? Like, that doesn't exactly scream best friends material to you either, right?
Break him down. I need the spare parts.
So yeah, it sounds like KO just wants to ride solo on this hunting down bad Radiance party and doesn't even want to think about the idea of teaming up with another KO. Last up for the dislikes category and tier is going to be Viper. With Viper, it's kind of like Cypher from earlier, where she is very curious what's going through her Omega double's mind and why her air filters don't work on her poison. But another aspect is something that's pretty normal with Viper. She just doesn't care about her enemies at all and frequently enjoys watching them suffer. Let's listen to the curiosity voice lines first.
Sabine, what have you been working on over there? I'm curious, but you don't need to be alive for me to find out. My air filters don't work on her poison. Why? I'll figure it out.
All right, so yeah, she wants to learn what's going on with her, but then of course we get the normal Viper here.
Copy killed. You choked on your own poison. Tragic.
But then Viper has one other voice line that actually makes me wonder if she might care for her slightly. It may just be more of a nod to herself that she's constantly tired and not in a great mental state, but just listen to this for yourself.
Rest, you tired woman.
I don't know. What do you guys think about that one? All right, that was the last agent in the dislikes tier. Now let's move on to pure hatred. This is a category where the agents just pretty much hate each other. First up for the pure hatred category is Phoenix. Now, Phoenix and his double are really the only ones that actually met each other in Valorant's lore, well, except for Sova. Phoenix got the shock of his life in the duality cinematic, where he realized the enemy he was just chasing down was himself. Just like Phoenix, I definitely would have been shocked and terrified as well if I were him. So I think that interaction has a lasting impression on Phoenix's emotions when thinking about his double. Every one of his voice lines shows disrespect and a drive to kill him.
Who's this other Phoenix guy? Nah, mate, you're mine. There can only be one Phoenix. I'm coming for you. Gonna burn you up, Phoenix.
Now, there is a funny one I'm about to share with you guys that is 100% a strike back when Phoenix gets the last kill on his double.
You should see your face.
This is a direct reference to the first time Phoenix met his double, when his double said the exact same thing in a cocky attitude.
You should see your face.
Yep, I think it's safe to say Phoenix hates his Omega counterpart. I'm sure some of you have been wondering where does Reyna lie on this list, and sure enough, it's of course in the pure hatred tier. No surprise here, to be honest, guys. She wants her dead and has no problem either doing it herself or having someone else do it.
My reflection is here. Do me a favor, cariño. Kill her.
She refers to her double as a parasite as well. I thought that maybe Reyna would want to keep her double around if she ever did want to rise to power and start Radiant Wars, in this timeline as well. But then I thought that she may just see her double as a threat to her throne, so I understand why she want her dead. Oh yeah, and when Reyna does kill her double as the last kill, she does so in such a disrespectful way.
Forgive me if I don't grieve.
All right, guys, so the last agent on the tier list of pure hatred for their Omega double, it was a long journey all the way from potentially best friends like Raze to here. So who could it be? Well, it's none other than Omen. I think out of all the agents on the Valorant protocol, Omen wants to kill his double the most. Like, he genuinely wants him dead.
I'll kill that Omen. I'll take his memories. I will find you, Omen. I will kill you, Omen.
So right off the bat, it's not looking good for the friends department here. But I think more than anything else, guys, is Omen just wants to get his memories back and end his own suffering, even if that means killing his double, someone else going through the exact same pain as him, to do so. I think he recognizes this as well, because whenever he does kill him, he seems to have a bit of remorse while doing so.
Now rest. Let go. You can finally let go.
So yeah, there seems to be a little sentiments there, but overall, Omen wants him dead like yesterday. Well, did you guys think Omen would be the worst? And did you have any idea that Raze would love to party with her double? Let me know in the comments below, or you can chat with me in one of my Twitch streams. If you enjoyed the video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe notifications if you're new. Now, with all that being said, Jeppy out.